the America's Heroes Group Roundtable with Illinois Army National Guard Sergeant First Class Miller and also Colonel Eugene Scott. Uh, Colonel Scott is on our live line. Colonel, how are you? Colonel, can you hear me?
Yes, Cliff.
There
I
you
hear you well.
Good, good. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it. And
My pleasure. My pleasure.
great. And we are pleased to have Sergeant First Class Miller right here with us. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good, 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 good. Boy, you are really dressed up today.
Thank you. I feel I should do that for you guys.
Well, isn't it? That's great. Of course, you know, everybody knows Colonel Scott, U.S. Army veteran and America's Heroes Group Business Development Advisory Board member, and H. Brooks J. Miller, Sergeant First Class Illinois National Guard. And what we are going to talk about today is something that we certainly want the sergeant to start off with: recruiting high school students.
Yeah, so I wanted to recognize two people that has recently joined the Illinois Army National Guard over the past few months. The first person, who's actually currently on the line, is Sabrina Bergman. She joined the Army National Guard October of this past year. She currently attends UIC, and she's a junior. So she, while going to UIC, she also attends the ROTC program. So she's in a special situation. Upon completion of the ROTC program, and when she graduates, she'll be commissioned a second lieutenant in the Army National Guard. So we're really excited for her and excited for the things that she has to bring to the Army National Guard. So Sabrina's on the line.
So hi Sabrina, how are you?
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. How did the sergeant convince you to do this?
No, he did not.
I'm teasing him. I'm teasing him. He's very happy about what you're doing, Sabrina. That's why I said that. But tell us how you started to do this.
So I'm a junior at UIC. I recently transferred from City Colleges of Chicago, where I obtained my associates in criminal justice. I am in my mid-20s right now, and at the time of joining, I just was lacking, direction in life, and I just wanted to do something greater than myself. So what better way than to join the Army National Guard?
Well, it sounds great. Sergeant, how many young people do we get to join the Guard out of school?
Quite a bit, actually. On a monthly basis, it really depends on the area and the team that they're actually coming from. But I would say we get a lot of high school juniors and seniors, especially around this season, because right now the high school seniors are in the time frame where they're deciding where they want to go to college, and now they're looking for a way to get it paid for. So they look at and National Guard is an option. So that's one area that we look at. We also talking to college students to looking, they're tired of taking out student loans, if they're tired of actually finding a way to pay for their education. They're starting to make, just like Sabrina, they're starting to make the decision to join the Army National Guard or some type of way to get their school paid for. And also high school juniors, they can get ahead of the game by joining as juniors, where they can already have their 4-year scholarship waiting on them when they graduate. So we kind of recruit a little bit of all three throughout the month.
How long has that program been going? Do you have any idea?
It's been going for a very long time. Okay. The Illinois National Guard grant has been around for a very long time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's a great thing to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Absolutely.
And even if you don't go to college, it still benefits you.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. So Sabrina, what's your intention? You going to make the military a career?
I enlisted in the Guard with the goal to commission through the ROTC program, to become an officer, and also just to gain those skills so that I can become a law enforcement officer on the civilian side. But I definitely plan on staying in the Guard for a while.
That's great. Colonel Scott, you have seen so many people, and your military background has been so great in helping young people. Tell us what you think about this whole program.
Oh, it's Cliff. It's a great program. Sabrina, congratulations. I think you made a great choice. It was many years ago when I was commissioned out of ROTC, and unfortunately at that time we didn't have these great programs. So I had to pay my way through college. But you're making a great choice. My daughter just completed 25 years as a law enforcement officer in the Army. And it was a great experience for her. And I think you got a lot to look forward to in learning the skills about law enforcement. So, again, you're a smart young lady, and the best to you, and I know you will make it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
That's great. If anybody has wants to call in, 312-374-8130. If you have a question or a comment from any of these great people we have, just give us a call. Colonel, am I correct? You were in armor, is that correct?
Yes, I was a tank officer.
Tanker, yeah.
For 28 years.
Yeah, that's right. When I said armor, I said, yeah, I thought I remembered that.
So I saw a lot of tanks go and come. You know, the last tank was this Abrams a tank, and that is some kind of a tank. It's unbelievable.
That's great. That's great. So yeah, you see more and more people coming in, and that's a great thing. Sergeant, help us here. How do you get out and get people to come into the Guard?
Well, what we do is we actually go to high schools, we go to the colleges, and we set up things like lunchroom displays, or we'll have like a gym activity where we'll teach them something first. We'll start off with like physical fitness, or we'll start off with talking about the history of the flag or the Minutemen, or we'll give them some type of education first, and then we'll segue into talking to them about how they're going to continue their education. So that's kind of how we started. Another person I wanted to actually talk about was Samantha Madrigal. She actually enlisted just last month to the Illinois Army National Guard. Now, different from her, she's a high school senior. She actually attends UIC College Prep High School. She currently has a 3.5 GPA, and she would have been on the line today, but she had to work. So I told her that I would definitely talk about her for us. She's going to be receiving the 4-year scholarship. She's going to also get and that's the 4-year scholarship to any state-funded school they want to go to Illinois. She's also going to receive the Montgomery GI Bill, where we're going to give her a monthly allowance while she's there, while she's attending school. And she actually ships to training in August. So she really joined for the educational benefits. She knew that she wanted to be in the military. She knew that she wanted to serve, and she wanted to go to college as well. So we kind of wrapped that all in a package for her, and hopefully
how
produce a good
long
product.
actually, Serge? I think we lost somebody. How long has that been going on? That is a great program.
Yeah, forever. It's been going on for quite a while. I mean, I've been in going on 22 years in February, so it's definitely something.
And you went through that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
that's how I paid for my school and everything.
Yeah. Well, that's a wonderful thing. If anybody has a question about this, about yourself or your children, give us a call, 312-374-8130. That makes a whole lot of sense. What else do we need to know, Sergeant?
Well, if anyone wanted to get more information about us, the best way to initially start is to go to our website. That's nationalguard.com. That's a good place to start if you thinking about joining the military, if you're thinking about serving part-time, if you're trying to find a way to go to college. On our website, we have we have the educational benefits. We have testimonials from soldiers that's serving right now, and pretty much how they like it. We also have all of our benefits lined out. We also have currently right now we have a $20,000 enlistment bonus depending on what type of job field and what you can score on the ASVAB. We also have student loan repayment programs going on currently right now for those that are in college that are already taking out that student loan, and now they're at the point where they feel that, hey, I'm kind of getting above my means. We can actually help with that upon enlisting in the Army National Guard. So that's what we want to put out.
Are you well, maybe I would be. You aren't, obviously, Sarge. To know how many people really know about these are great benefits.
They are. They are.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah.
Yeah, we try to do our best as recruiters to get out as much as we can, and platforms like this really allows it to go a little bit further. Every recruiting station has an area where we actually can go out and go to our particular high schools and colleges. Like
That's
for me,
right.
I represent UIC and all of the satellite schools that's under the ROTC program. So that's about as far as that I go. But we have recruiters everywhere. So the best place to start is go to nationalguard.com, put your information in, and that website will link you to your closest recruiter.
And we presume that a lot of people don't even know anything about it, which is the whole purpose of America's Heroes Group.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. It's great.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of folks that, when you say what you say, a lot of people would say, well, that's unbelievable. Well, it's unbelievable because you haven't heard of it. Yeah, that's right. Because
Well, Cliff,
yeah,
what you're
yes,
doing is
Colonel?
such a Cliff, what you're doing is such a great benefit for our community because you're helping get the word out about these various programs and for our seniors and juniors in high school. And that's so important. So my hat is off to you for spreading the word through the community and using your show to help our young people find their way and get some assistance for going to school.
Well, Colonel Scott, I appreciate those comments. Also, we want to thank you because you've been helpful in keeping our program going. You've been a guest many times, as you are today, and you're very supportive of us. So we certainly
whatever we can do collectively to help our young people in the community, I'm all for it.
And you've shown that over the years. You certainly have, in addition to helping us, and we certainly appreciate that. And it's neat. Colonel, it's probably needed more now than ever. And when
yes,
yeah, it is. And when I sit,
it is. It really is.
And when I sit here and see the sergeant, I'm thinking, I see a lot of young men with pictures, but they're not based on the great things he's doing here. But they got some pictures of people who are doing some things that they shouldn't be doing. So
right.
Yeah. So when the Sergeant Miller, when he does what he does, that's great, and it ties right into what you've been doing, Colonel, for a long time, because you've always been helping young people. So we just appreciate that.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. Sarge, you want to close us out?
Well, what I was going to allude to is that, hey, when high school students see us in their schools, come and approach us, come and talk to us. We'll love to share the information that we have with them and help guide them to whatever part of success they want to reach.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I think that somebody have a call. Our number, if somebody hasn't called, 312-374-8130. There's someone who was going to talk to us. So, Colonel, tell us what else, if anything, that you would like to see happen.
Well, I'd like to see, our young people to get more involved in the entire spectrum of military service, the National Guard, the active duty programs that we have to support our best and talented in the community. There's no reason any student should go without being helped out or assisted for going to college. There's so many programs out there, both active and reserve and National Guard. You got to be able to get at least one of those programs to help you out.
Well, I think that's just great, and it certainly works. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure. The anything else, Sergeant, that you'd like to state?
Yeah. So basically, when a person is interested in the Guard, I mean, one thing after they went to the website, after they've got a recruiter that's going to call them and set up the appointment, the next step is to talk to the parents. Parents is a big thing, you know, and a lot of people that want to join are scared to join or scared to talk about that they want to join. And the best thing, and that instead of them explaining that to their parents, it's good for them to allow us to come in and do that. Allow us to come in and talk to the parents. I do that all the time. I go to parents' houses and have dinner with them to talk about the National Guard, talk about the benefits, the pros, the cons, and and we kind of get all of that because we want this to be a family decision. You know, we don't want people to join without, you know, being educated about it. And sometimes a parent has those important questions that the high school student don't have. You know, they care about the initial stuff. They care about just, you know, how much money they may make or the benefits of what school they want to go to. But the parents a lot of time will ask those underlining questions, those questions that the high school kid didn't think about. And in most times and in most cases, they'll ask that question to the kid. The kid don't really know much about it, so they don't look as interested. So what we will say is like, hey, set it up, have us come and talk to them. We'll be happy to sit down and talk with them and explain everything that they want to know.
Let's take a caller. Minister Hayden, hi. Thanks for calling.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, Cliff, and good evening to your guests as well.
Sure.
Well, he kind of struck a nerve when he said the best in talent. That kind of hit me kind of hard. What about the individuals that are struggling, that don't know no direction, but looking for direction? What does this program do for the inner children that are on the verge of going the wrong way? So what are you doing to help those that can be turned around before they go the wrong way? I never hear y'all talk about that. I hear you always talk about the upbeat, but what about the other ones that are not as privileged, but looking for some mentors and direction? I need to hear you guys talk about that.
Let me mention a program.
Thank you, Minister Hayden. Appreciate it.
All right.
Let me mention
Colonel
a
Scott, go
program
right
that
ahead.
has saved so many youth in our community that is run by the Illinois National Guard, and that's down at Lincoln's Challenge, where we get students in that are sub-performing and not programmed to graduate from high school. They go down to Rantoul at Lincoln's Challenge, and they get a high school diploma. So they start early with those students that aren't doing that great. But a massive program that have turned around so many kids in our community is unbelievable.
That's a great thing, Colonel Scott. A lot of folks don't even know anything about that, and I'm glad the caller called in to say that. That's wonderful.
Yes, I am too, because that's and the program's been going on for at least 10 or 15, 20 years. So, they reach those students that have gotten in trouble and are kicked out of the public high school system. And they get them down there, train them, and give them some classroom work, and put a diploma in their hand upon completion.
Colonel Scott, as always.
Hats off to the National Guard.
Absolutely. That is wonderful. I'm glad that caller came in. Colonel Scott, thank you so much, as always, for being with us and being so supportive. And, of course, Sergeant Miller is here, Sergeant First Class Miller. Appreciate you being with us again.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
Absolutely. And stay with us. We'll